Hey guys, I'm back. Did you miss me? I mean, I was talking I don't know, 15 minutes ago, so I may not have given you enough time to actually miss me, but I'm back anyways. So I wanted to share with you the last conversation I had with a woman who I am connected to through a family that married into my mother's family. She is one of our, I think it's safe to say she's one of our overlords. like, she sits on the board of a very powerful financial institution that you definitely all know of. I haven't talked to her in, I don't know, 10 years. And the last time I saw her, at that point, she was the head lobbyist for a financial services company. Actually, they have a credit card, so you have definitely heard of them. Her family name. See, here's the thing. These people, they don't talk, they don't just share who they are and what they're doing. You would not be able to find them online unless you knew who they were, most likely. Because I come from a family that a lot of 1 and 2 percenters, and these are the people who are making decisions, executing the plans, setting the policies. And every time somebody's like, why is this world so horrible? I'm like, oh, I know. Because I know these people, and they're not good people. They're not. Their standards of morals are is the man in charge over the woman, not, or is everybody taken care of? Is everybody taken care of is not part of their worldview. That is completely absent. I promise you. It plays zero part in their thinking. The last time I had a conversation with this woman was while she was the head lobbyist for this financial services company that her uncle had started. It's a big political name, but I'm sure that she was just the most qualified person for that job, obviously, at the company her uncle helped start. But she gave me this whole spiel about how her work was actually very important and was a form of public service. Because since companies have a financial interest in, their success, they can't be successful if they're not serving the needs of their customers. So by serving the needs of their customers, their customers' best interest is their best interest. And also our lawmakers are dealing with very complicated, big issues on such a wide range of things. They cannot possibly understand everything, all of the nuances. So what a lobbyist does is they basically act as a representative for the customer's interest with the lawmakers when they're talking to them. Because, they have our best interest at heart. And so we can trust them to go into our lawmakers' offices and do that, right? This is the line that I was being given. Now, I promise you, not, 15 minutes later, we were talking about regulation. And I said, in America, we don't have regulations that stop us from being screwed over. We just have regulations that force us to agree in excruciating detail ahead of time to exactly how we're going to be screwed over. And she kind of laughed and she kind of looked and she goes, yeah, that's probably about right. And it's you know what you're doing. But the thing is so she says, yeah, that's probably about right. Think of how many people have been driven into bankruptcy, have had horrible things happen in their lives, have had relationships fall apart, have committed suicide, have been driven into drug and alcohol abuse by financial problems created by the policies of very powerful people who just think it's funny that our regulations don't protect you, really. And wants to then have me accept her telling me with a straight face that she's there acting as a representative of her customer's best interest. She's doing a public service, right? So, like, at some level, you cannot possibly believe your own bullshit. Like, it's just ridiculous. She actually, in that conversation, Elizabeth Warren was a new senator at that time, and she complained to me about Elizabeth Warren. I love Liz. I think we would have been so fortunate to have had her be the Democratic nominee back in any time in our history, but 2020, and we would have been so lucky. But anyways, she complained about her. She says, well, I set up a call with her. This is very funny. She says, I set up a call with her so I could introduce myself and address some issues that were, currently being worked on and blah, 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 blah. And she says, so I'm on a conference call with her. And I give her my whole, kind of presentation. And then after I'm done speaking, she says, thank you. And then she says, by the way, I have so-and-so and so-and-so here with me. They are consumer rights advocates. And she said, and of course, that's just bad etiquette. If somebody's on the line, you let them know at the beginning of the call. She's like, so then I could have spoken in a way that more addressed their concerns. And I'm in total fairness, yeah, you should let people know who's there, but also go Liz. I thought it was very funny that she was like, I was deprived of the opportunity to craft my propaganda to more closely align with the people who were listening to me. So yeah. Now, just some background. Just so you know, if you met this woman, there is nothing about her that would make you go, oh, there's something wrong with her. She's evil. She's, a bad person. She hurts people for money. Nothing. She's super personable. She's a great conversationalist. She's very down to earth. She makes people feel very comfortable. Her husband's also one of those people who embarrasses you with his treatment of waitresses. And yeah, she once owned 2 multi-million-dollar homes at the same time, because on the way home from church one day, because of course they go to church and I'm sure they make donations to their church. On the way home from church one day, there was an open house for a home that she had always loved, right, in their community. And they were able to figure out that they did, in fact, have the liquidity necessary for the transaction. And so they were able to buy this house, and now they had to figure out what to do with the other one. She also funds a scholarship in her mother's name. I wasn't able to ascertain whether the scholarship had ever been awarded, but it's for $1,500, which should cover 2 textbooks. So that's very, very generous of her. Obviously, she's deeply involved in, the social good. She's very invested in such things. Yeah, she's a graduate of the Antony Scalia School of Law. She was one of the first people. I'm not going to say more because I don't want to have her identified, because we borrowed money from her husband about a decade ago, and I'm pretty sure it didn't all get paid back, and I don't really need problems from them. So anyways, when you are looking at the world and you're like, oh, they're just doing their jobs. Dude, their job is to figure out how to get as much for themselves and their people as possible. That's their job. Their job isn't to do anything for our benefit. And when they tell you that they are, they're lying. And not only are they lying, but they actually do know that they're hurting people. They do know that they're not protecting people's rights and well-being. So, don't go shoot people. That's not going to help anything. There's always some other psycho who's willing to step up and take a multi-million-dollar position to do terrible things to the American public and the rest of the world. But just know, when you're thinking about it, these people know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. They feel entitled to do it. The fact that it harms other people, I honestly think it's an issue of like Hannah Arendt talks about, evil has no depth, only the good has depth. If you're doing something, it's getting you what you want, and you can keep doing it, you're going to keep doing it. And other people going, oh, that's bad, that's wrong. Like, why would you listen to him? This is how I get what I want. It's really people who have not run into a challenge internally or externally that has caused them to say, is this really okay for me to be doing? Do I really want to be responsible for this impact that I am creating in the world? I promise you, they're not thinking about you. The philosophy that I felt like it was this unspoken sort of truth that everybody lived by. And it was, bad times always come back around again. So get as much as you can while you can, so you and yours have the best chance of surviving. At which point, what's the moral good? To make sure that you and your family are okay. And if I would be wrong not to take advantage of the opportunities afforded to me by my willingness to engage in completely immoral behavior, because I have to make sure my family is okay. That really is what they're thinking. That's as deep as it goes. You don't matter to them. Your suffering doesn't matter to them. It's all theoretical. It's somewhere else. If you try and put it in their face, they'll be mad. They'll be defensive. They won't be repentant. It's really a work of God to change people like that, because what they're doing is working. So I just thought I would share that with you guys, a little bit of a peek behind the screen of how these people really do think and talk. People in very high, powerful places. It is the way of the world. So anyhow, I will talk with you all again later. Please do go check out, if you haven't already, go to my TikTok page. That is where I'm sharing all of my scandalous tea. I've had a life. And also I'll be getting, hopefully, my videos up on YouTube this afternoon, so that I'm behind. I have a bunch to put up. Go to my YouTube page and my web page and buy merchandise, and also write good messages on the ground for your friends and neighbors and people walking in and out of stores, because you will be helping to make the world a better place. Check out chalktheworld.com for more information on that. All right, guys, I love you. I will talk with you guys all again soon. Bye.